guys, I want to talk about just a couple little mental tricks that I do on certain types of shots. And what I'm talking about, the kind of shots are when I have to put a lot of side spin on the cue ball. I know there's going to be spin-induced throw. I know there's going to be squirt. This is my Joss.
Balabushka.
No idiots. Joss, not a Balabushka. And it plays really well. I've continued to be amazed by how well all of my Joss cues hit with the stock shaft. It doesn't really matter what cue I'm using. Some squirt more than others and all that, but you know, I feel like I get used to that kind of stuff pretty quickly because I'm constantly switching. But if I have a shot, let's just set up this one I was talking about here a few videos ago. This is a shot that I'll use to kind of, I don't know, test my stroke or whatever. So this one ball is without from this diamond. And I'll put the cue ball here on the head spot. I have a little dot where that's marked. In order for me to make this shot, I have to hit it fairly hard, and I have to hit it with a lot of left side spin on the cue ball. I think some of the other players, better players than me, would say, no, you don't have to hit it that hard, whatever. This is the way I learned the shot. Because I'm going to be putting so much left side spin on, I know it's going to squirt. And it seems like I've had a hard time in the past trying to allow for that. How much do I have to compensate for that squirt? And it just seems easier for me to turn it around a little bit. And now, instead of trying to compensate for the squirt, I'm going to make the squirt part of the shot. It actually an integral, easier for me to say, part of the shot. I hurt my wrist, and so the brace is on just basically to make sure it doesn't get worse and have to be amputated or whatever. It would be hard to bridge if my hand got amputated. A lot of people brag about they're aging like fine wine. A lot of times I feel like I'm aging like a fine banana. Anyway, back to pool. So on this shot, instead of trying to mentally calculate and compensate for the squirt, I'm going to make it part of the shot. I'm going to aim this cue ball to cut the one ball just a touch to my right with center ball. I'm going to pretend that's what I'm doing. Aiming to cut it just a touch to my right with center ball. And the way that I put side spin on is almost always with backhand English. In other words, I leave my bridge hand stable or steady or immobile, whatever, and I put my English on that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line this up to cut it just a little bit to my right with no English, but then I'm going to put left English on the shot when I hit. So I'm aiming right dead center cue ball, but when I hit, it's going to be at 9 o'clock. And follow through on the shot like that. That's just a little silly little mental trick that I'll do that will help the ball. It will help me make the shot. This shot's always kind of funny. I think I mentioned in another video. You know, I've been banking balls for a long time, but to me, this shot still looks like it absolutely will not go. It looks like there's going to be a double kiss in this area. It looks like there is. I mean, I know better, but I still look at it. I go, man, that doesn't look possible. Sometimes you'll see a shot similar to this, like on AccuStats or some pay-per-view where they have an overhead camera. This shot doesn't look as bad from the overhead view, but from down here at ground level, it does look bad. And you gotta just trust it. But what I'm doing, instead of compensating for squirt and all that, is I'm just making squirt part of the shot. I know it's going to squirt, so while I'm looking to cut it a little bit to my right, I know the cue ball is going to squirt that way, which is going to put the 15 back to cutting a little bit to my left, which is going to help me to avoid the kiss. And it's going to have all that spin to bring it back into this pocket. This is all theoretical, but sometimes it works out. Is that like that shot right there? That was what you call a horrible shot. Sure, we're going to try that one again. I don't feel like I accelerated through that the way I needed to. I don't believe the cue ball was spinning. And the cue ball will be spinning if I hit it correctly. So aiming at 3 to cut it a little bit to my right, or aiming at dead center, and then I'm going to hit it at 3. Just like that. So that's always fun. One of the things that's also interesting about this kind of shot is if I went out banked this 15 over here by stiffening the shot, not by cross bank, you would think, well, it's the same angle, Dave. It's really not, because going cross side, I have a pretty wide pocket. Going across corner, well, it's going to this corner. The pocket isn't that wide. If the object ball hits this long rail on the way over, it's probably not going to go in. It's going to bobble. So it's a pretty narrow pocket. This shot is tougher than the cross side version, and I'm nowhere near 50% on this, on the cross corner version. But it's shot exactly the same way. I shoot it exactly the same way. I'm going to aim to cut the 15 a little bit to my right, but I know it's going to squirt, which is going to cut it back a little bit to my left with all that spin on it. Let's see what happens. I think I'm only going to shoot this one time, and we'll see what happens. As long as I feel like I hit it right. See how that shot there would have gone in the side, but it came in and it hit about right here, and the corner pocket is not that wide from that angle. So I thought it was cool. Another time when I'll do something like this. Where's all my balls at, damn it? Okay. Let's say that I'm playing bank pool. And for some reason, where's my other possibilities? Let's find all the possibilities. Let's waste some camera time. Alright, so, because my opponent is a jerk, he left me with this playing bank pool. I can't go cross side, I can't go cross corner, I can't Z-bank it cross corner, I can't do anything with it except twice right here. And this is the same kind of a shot as just bringing it cross side was. So this time I couldn't even do that. Even if the one wasn't here, with this angle, I couldn't bring it cross side. You just learn that from experience with it. But I can come over here, and then with the right amount of spin, it can come back. And a lot of times this shot will go in. And you think, well, that shot is pure luck. It's really not pure luck. There is some luck involved. But I'm hitting this exactly the same way as before. Cut it a little bit to my right at center ball, but then I'm going to hit it with 9 o'clock and follow through. And sometimes it works. Man, that was a horrible shot. Did you see that too? It was a horrible shot too. I don't like it when I try to do examples and they're horrible, but I've already said I'm bad at examples. I really am. There we go, yay! So, same kind of a concept, and it's just a mental trick that I can do to help me make some shots and not have to be racking my brain worrying about compensating for squirt and compensating for contact-induced throw and all that. Just try to dumb it down as much as I can and get it as simple as I can. If I were to put this one in this side with left English, say I'm going to try to come around 3 rails and maybe make the 7 or something, whatever. One of the things I used to do all the time, like my bar pool days, would be instead of realizing I'm going to put left English and then trying to compensate with how much squirt and how much contact induced throw I would get, is I would just try to adopt the mental attitude that I'm going to cut this one a little bit, and I'm going to throw it the rest of the way into the pocket with spin. And I would do that, and a lot of times that was easier for me to do that. Another type of deal is, it's pretty much the same concept, but I can say, all right, I'm gonna throw this ball in with spin. Okay, now how much do I need to cut it? After you play long enough, you kind of know how much spin induced thrower you're going to get. I kind of know if I'm going to put maximum left on this ball. I kind of know that a full ball hit isn't going to put it in the pocket. I know I have to cut it a little bit, even with maximum spin. So it's just whichever is easier, I'll just do that. So this time, I'm spinning the ball in, and then how much do I have to cut it to spin it in? It's little, I don't want to say stupid mental tricks, because they work for me. I don't like having all those variables that I'm trying to figure out and compensate for and this and that, especially not when I'm playing as opposed to practice playing. I try to dumb things down as much as I can, and those little tricks, they've helped me a lot in the past. Is use the squirt and don't try to compensate for it, if that makes any sense. Use the contact induced spin and don't try to compensate for it. Make them an integral part of the shot. This is something that's worked really well for me on quite a few shots. I said mostly with inside English, like on those banks I was showing, but even on outside English shot, just make that contact induced throw part of the shot instead of, okay, here's your shot, but you're going to put spin on it, so now you have to compensate and adjust your shot. Try to combine it all. Make it part of the shot. If you've been playing for any length of time, it won't be as tough as maybe I might be making it sound at first, because I don't do a very good job of explaining. But that's what I have. Thanks, guys.